All right, 6MB, we're going to talk about lesson 10.6, probability of simple events. So I guess the first thing for us to think about is, well, what does it mean to be calculating probability? What is probability? Well, probability is just the chance that an event will occur. The chance that an event will occur. Okay, and that probability can be expressed as a fraction, so it can be a ratio, or it's often expressed as a percentage. All right, so let's think about this ratio piece. How do we calculate the ratio for an outcome? The chance that an event will occur. Well, it's the total of favorable events, and I'll talk about that more in a second with an example, divided by the total possible outcomes. Okay, so I think an example will help us on this one. We're going to try to figure out how to, let me get a red pen here. Here's our example. Let's just think of a standard number cube, right? A standard number cube, dice, if you will, has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on it. So a classic probability question that you might be asked is just, what is the probability that you are going to roll an even number if you roll that dice, right? So the P, and then notice this is very intentional. This is called subscript. Subscript. I write a nice big, here's my big capital P, and then I drop down in subscript and I write down the favorable event that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the probability, my total number of favorable events, of an even number. So then I have to go back up to my number cube and say, well, okay, how many of these numbers are even? What is the total of the favorable events? Well, 3 of them are even, and I have to divide that by the total possible outcomes. Well, there are 6 total numbers. So this fraction simplifies to 1 out of 2. The probability of rolling an even number is 1/2 or 50%. Well, I could ask another question, same number cube. I could say, well, what is the probability of rolling a prime number? Notice I just dropped down in subscript. So we've got to go back and think about, use my highlighter this time. I've got to go back and think about those numbers. Which ones are prime? Well, 1 isn't prime, 2 is prime, 3 is prime, and 5 is prime. So this question, same number cube, it's still 3 out of 6. It's still 1/2 or 50%. Okay, same scenario. What is the probability of not rolling a 5? I have a number cube. What's the probability that I'm not going to roll a 5? Well, how many of the numbers on the number cube are not 5? 5 of them. 5 of them out of 6 of them. So then I have to convert that into a percentage, right? So 5 out of 6 equals something out of 100. I could use the percent proportion on that one. 6n equals 500. If I divide both sides by 6, I get 83.3%. So this is 5/6 or 83 1/3%. This is very likely, if I'm rolling a number cube, it's very likely that I'm not going to roll a 5.